Welcome back to Mob Psycho, where the conscious is fighting against the subconscious, the id and the ego, the veritable powerhouse that is whatever is lying beyond the limits of what Mob can contain, well, is on the loose and looking for a date. The city is being ransacked, it's people running scared. But I feel like everyone and anyone that is somewhat close to Mob will come together, converge to try to help in some way or another. How it's going to go down is completely a mystery. But with their powers combined, and I'm guessing from a little Mob himself, they may be able to save the day yet again. I really do love how, in the end, the final boss, as it seems, was Mob all along. We've known his outbursts are things to be feared, but what happens if it goes completely out of control? Let's see. So going from the destruction of the city down into school council meeting. This is where Ritsu actually can sense that something is terribly wrong out there. The rebirth of something that's probably traumatized him since childhood. Just so the shock alone has destroyed him so heavily. Jumping to conclusions a little, but kind of understandable. He was at the epicenter. Is there anyone around that... Well, piecing things together, he's actually doing quite well there. Ritsu can be some sort of detective going forward. In the destruction-laden city like that. It could have been anyone's blood, but his bag, middle of the road, center of destruction, car, pool of blood. And you really do have to love how everyone throughout Mob's past have not only kind of possibly expected this to happen at some point, but known that they can possibly do something about it and need to stand up. Some knowing his abilities and throwing themselves into danger's way, others like Reagan just... maybe he can lend a word. And what would happen once he actually does, or if he does get to the park in the end? And who's paying for all of the repair? Oh, there's some melon bread. Repairs of the city. You might not be able to explain this one very well, but seeing the rest of the city out there might be quite understandable. It's good. They're trying to keep out of trouble. How much How much can they actually do to help? Seeing the antagonist of the previous season back, this time on his side, and trying to shorten his own sentence and the like. Was there even an in-between frame there? What a waste of food. Liberated. I mean, if that's the case of his subconscious doing what it does, or without the constraints placed on it thanks to the waking mind, yeah, liberated might be the right word. I mean, he made it pretty much at a good time. Didn't expect to be seeing him again. Can't actually remember what his deal was. I mean, look around you, see what has happened here. One escaping, one taking it head on. This much wouldn't be too much to handle. Ah. If he can power up from it, we've seen what happens with, like, the broccoli and absorbing some of his power from that. It might be some while. Do they have several years to wear him down? He withdrew into himself little more than a shell of what was before. This is his abilities made manifest. You know, how many... He's just taking a nap. How many people would have versions of themselves like this due to repressed memories, sealing bits of yourself away as a mask? I would actually hate to see that world. I don't expect this to be incredibly successful, but very neat to see. The visual spectacle is definitely one thing. Don't get hasty. It could lead to a downfall. Does he need a bit more energy? And this might be beyond anyone actually trying to fight back with psychic powers and the like. But there was a... I see. Mob himself is taking a stand. Really, who's in power of the body? Wally, he is distracted. Oh. Gotta protect his son. Wait, buckling again. A reenactment of what we saw before, but I'm guessing a much more final version. He's prepared for it, but if it should fail, what then? His son is left alone. And Mob's got in a nice little balance there. A decision to be made. Is he gonna... resort to, what, old ways? Like when he left before? He's not gonna go straight in and sacrifice himself. Nope. Let's get the hell out of here. Probably the safest option. Don't think he's going to get any time off of his sentence, though. The power was taboo, locking away, knowing what damage and danger he can cause. He had this kind of frightening ability all the time, and yet tried to be no one. I can think of at least one person that could stop him. Unfortunately, he's been in this battle the entire time. It's just taking a while. Fight on. Let's see what the Body Improvement Club can do. They've been there. They've been a kind of a rock and a confidence boost for him. Tell him that he can achieve good things if he puts in the effort. Time to flex. I'm sure that was for Mob's benefit there, that little show of strength. Oh. One actually reached through. Would you consider going back to normal? Good save. Yeah, steel girders and skulls don't really mix too well. didn't expect the Body Improvement Club to be able to do all too much, but actually reaching him. While Mob might have locked away the version of himself which could use these powers so willingly, Richie's been living with the fear it may come back. Both equally terrifying ways to live. And he's here for him now. Is that Mob's attempt to regain control growing due to the interference of everyone else here? Just smile and nod, everything is fine. He should have pushed harder. It's slowly ticking up. You don't want a reoccurrence of the past. I mean, if his own brother being in trouble there, nice, was, jumping up rapidly. If his own brother being in trouble isn't going to be enough to shake something up to get Mob to somewhat regain a level of control. "96, 7, 8, 9... anyone and everything in his wake." Shock therapy. Slightly different than what... visions of his brother past shared together. If that doesn't tick it over. A sudden fight back. Yeah. This isn't all about psychic powers. This is mental well-being. And it wasn't the flowers here. It wasn't Mob's counter that was ticking. To help him out, should he need it. The flowers being the one thing that might be stopping him from destroying the world, but they're not in a great state right now. Even at his peak, we had the surge of music, the sound as though we're starting to believe in him, just to get blown away by a tornado. Everyone... Are we even going to get small side characters that only appeared for a few minutes just have their own splash screen here? There are some that don't abide by police precautions, and that one didn't exactly... Oh, he made it to the ground all right. He didn't exactly do a great job at stopping people getting through. Squiggle. That's cool. He is himself. They are sides to the same coin. Huh. He might need to see a therapist. Multiple issues going on. If he's fighting with himself for the personality to come out victorious. Well, that is a risk that Reagan is willing to face. If Mob's in there, there might be something you can do to help. Might be the capital word there. The body is weak, flesh fails. Go use psychic powers instead. Yep. What is the ideal limit of doing things for yourself and just being this kind of disaster level? You can get things you want without having to destroy those around you. That is a very neat way of showing it. And as pieces start to flit and fade and swap between, it's going to become less and less obvious as to who is in control there, and after everything, how it'll all turn out. I really appreciate how Mob goes. It's not the classic just keep believing in yourself and use some battle prowess and skills to win out. It's focusing a lot more of psychology, emotions, dealing with yourself within society. I'm hopefully never going to know what it's like to actually have to deal with, like, I don't know if I'm going to use it properly, but imposter syndrome, is that the one I'm thinking of? I don't know. And whatnot, but Jesus. Mob being the experimental type show that it is, you know, both in animation and certainly other ways as well. If we strip out, I think I said this before, but if we strip out the psychic powers, it would still be a compelling story in of itself. Obviously, it would be slightly need to have some tweaks in plot, but trying to overcome yourself, find your place within society, and do your role. Don't stand out. Don't try and purposely hurt people. The fact that his inner wants, what do we really want? His is to go and talk to her, go confess, see how things go. That is his innermost desire. Screw everything else, friends, family, city. How much is anyone willing to throw away to obtain what they want? Because when all limiters are released, well, we have seen in the past, and in reality, what happens when there's little regard given for repercussions. We all probably have our own issues to deal with, our own neuroses. In a very, very visual way, Mob is showing you, don't just retain them all, lock them away, pretend everything is hunky-dory and okay. Because what could go wrong? We might not explode and be a walking disaster zone. In a literal sense, at least. But we can destroy ourselves and those around us just as easily. If you have some issues, like Ritsu was trying to get at, you really hope that we'll be able to talk them through. And I think with that, who's going to be that breakthrough moment? I'm guessing Mob's fight back on himself there. Mob's trying to reach his powers and talk things through. Seeing him start to slip away. Something has definitely got to help force it. If his own brother was only circumstantial in all of that, then holy hell. What Mob really needs is confidence in himself. He's been trying so hard. He's achieved a lot without his powers. After all of this, and for keeping her waiting for so long, I don't think it's the best time if he actually did manage to make it to that park. Don't think she has a lot of time to reschedule things, though, moving away. Don't see it going well, to be fair. But that's Mob Psycho. Gets you having a bit of introspection, looking at yourself, realising what you may have been holding on to, what you need to release, stop worrying about, talk things over if you really want to. Jesus, the next episode can't come soon enough. If there's anything that you desire, you can always work towards your goal without endangering the lives of everyone around you. In fact, there might actually be a better solution because, well, could you really enjoy it if you were then ostracized by everything, anyone, society, the world? I mean, hey, you wouldn't even be able to go down and buy ice cream. He destroyed the convenience store. And one last thing, I think, before I wrap up and start to forget everything I've said. The fact we have, the boss returning, and everyone else that has come down and tried to have a word with him, snap him out of what's been going on. It's everyone that Mob has helped in the past. Not through, well, some with, thanks to his psychic powers, but most point is through being himself and his wording and helping them work through their own issues. The psychic powers was secondary to all of that. It's good to see them trying to pay him back, even if it's a little difficult. Sometimes those that are nicest are suffering the hardest. But that's Mob Psycho. We need to see some more. If you're enjoying it, let me know. Leave a like and a comment. If there's anything you think I need to know, put it down underneath the video somewhere. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. If you want to help support me and the channel and not get in front of a massive psychic danger, consider joining onto my Patreon instead. There, alongside Noku, Raywin, Sal, Arthur, Shiwan, Mats, Akane, Guado, Danny, Sui, Croyville, Kite, Diego, Zenhausen, Ranka, the Kebab Seller, Tori Jane, and everyone else. You are fairly safe from danger, and we get to watch a lot more anime, which is always a good thing. One thing I've learned, though, is if you ever see anyone walking with flowers, you best be wary.